So music has been a large influence in the way it emotionally affects its listeners. Knowing the influence of what music can do, a recent study made by Thomas Arola, a professor at Durham University who researches on music and emotion. His research mostly acknowledges the factors of how sad music can greatly influence the negative feelings of an individual. From his results, he was able to conclude, quoting, "Young participants and women were the ones that were most influenced." What this can illustrate is strictly how music can make a psychological impact on everyday lives, and depending on what listeners' genre, musical artist, it can greatly affect the mood of listeners. Continuing on, we can look at the map created by Nolan Finney. He made a recent survey on Twitter and other social media sites posting on what genre of music people can listen to. As seen on the graph, we can already see the large amount of listeners in America listen to rap as their main genre of music. Because of the latest trend, we can see how artists like X, Linkin Park, and Logic can all influence their listeners.
Alright guys, so one of the rappers relevant in today's time that talks about suicide is XXXTentacion. So in his new album called Sad, he has a song called Sad that in the lyrics it talks about and says, "Who am I? Someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Suicide if you're ever trying to let go." So what he's trying to say inside this song, kind of to give a little bit of background information, is that he went through depressing heartbreak and he kind of doesn't want to go through the whole pain of suffering, and how he tried to influence his kids to commit suicide so you won't suffer through the pain of being heartbroken or just being lonely. Now, another song that XXXTentacion has in his album 17 called Jocelyn Flores, he also says, "I'm in pain, want to put 10 shots in my brain." So kind of what he's referring to, and kind of to give a little bit of context about this song too, is that he's in a heartbreak again, and he also wants kids, and he influences kids to commit suicide so they won't have to suffer in their life. And so in the song, it kind of says that like his ex-girlfriend kind of like left him for being who he was, and how he's just really depressed about it and just wants to kill himself because he doesn't want to suffer and doesn't want to deal with all this pain in his life.
Music icons like Logic have used their platforms to promote impactful messages, like for example his song 1-800. In this song, Logic attempts to help his listeners by inspiring them with hope and a motive to live. "I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. I feel like I've been out of my mind. I feel like my life ain't mine. Who can relate?" These lyrics are meant to bring comfort and are meant to show people that they're not alone when facing their demons. This is great. However, in contrast to other hip-hop music that promote thoughts and drug use, hip-hop is still more overwhelmed with promoting a negative mindset than positive messages like Logic has done.
Okay, so in another song for our counter argument by Linkin Park called One More Light, so the lyrics that I chose was, "If they say, who cares if one more light goes out? In a sky of a million stars, it flickers, it flickers. One who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, we're quicker, we're quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do." So in this verse, it goes really in deep how everyone's life matters. So this song was originally wrote for a woman who died from cancer, but a couple months later, the head singer of the band, Chester, committed suicide. So when the song was released, they released the song with the intention of sending love to ones who have lost people to suicide, and how everyone's life matters, whether you're a good person or you're a bad person.